Hello and welcome into SorareAndrews, brought to you by Sorare Data. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare. Joined today, as usual, Andy Black on Sorare. Andy, I was going to start, I literally was giggling myself before because I was going to say, welcome in to the, was I going to phrase it? Welcome into the fully shaved SorareAndrews, as I saw Mike Baston's Need Black to rate Laird's efforts on beard growing. And then I commented I shaved yesterday. And the fully shaved SorareAndrews just sounded like it was worthy of giggling.
Sounds dirty for sure.
It did. It did sound a little dirty to me, which is why I started giggling, which actually goes right into the fact that this clean sheets are not sexy. We were talking about clean sheets and we were like, clearly there's some sort of double entendre we could bring into this title, and we just couldn't think of anything.
We struck out. We couldn't come up with anything.
We did. We went limp on the ideas. Germ said hairless Andrews. That's an interesting one.
I think we actually had some good ideas, but I think we didn't want to put them out there.
There might be some truth to that. Some good ideas. We just didn't feel like whipping them out at all. Anyway, clean sheets or clean shaved. Yeah, that's Nelson's. Andy, there was some shade thrown your way this week that I sent you. Somebody was saying that all we talk about on this show is shite.
I don't even know what that word is.
Yeah, I didn't know it either. I looked it up, but it's not good.
It's bad.
It's not. Yeah. So all these people here are watching, and they are just like, no. Apparently, one guy is like, nah, it's just a bunch of shite. And it's funny because I feel like you kind of know that coming in here, but also we had some hard hitting topics a lot. You guys just don't realize it.
Yeah.
It was not Sean actually who said that.
Like, for instance, today I had a banana, which is probably what, B tier? Banana B tier on the fruit list.
I'm actually a really big banana guy, so like I think actually bananas are in the A tier.
I like bananas because they're good for me and they're good for like my system, and they make me, they'll make me regular and all that. Get my what do they have on them? Magnesium or something? Potassium, that's right. Keep you from eat bananas and you'll never cramp, right?
Never cramp. That's right.
But just as far as like taste and like, I don't know, I'll drop them down to B because they're not exploding with flavor. Like, have you ever had a banana and you were just like, oh my God, that was the best banana ever?
This is the best banana I've ever.
They all taste the same.
Sam Tai, who I'm not sure should be invited to watch anymore, said he hasn't eaten one in 29 years. I mean, Sam, maybe in your 3 decades since you've had a banana, maybe your own taste buds have developed that. I like this question. Which side do you open the banana?
I don't know. I just rip right in.
But like, do you rip from the stem?
Yeah.
Okay, so there are people who rip from the other side because no. They do.
No.
And they do this. This is my favorite part of why they do this. They all say like that's the right way to do it. They do this because monkeys do it. And they're like, well, monkeys like bananas, as if like humans don't like bananas enough where we know how to open them. Daniel Cooper with the pure psycho, I rip them in half. Sco's are here too, middle. Yeah, you guys, oh my gosh.
So what do you cut them down the middle and then squeeze on each end and it just slides out, or what? What are we doing?
Germ's wondering if we don't eat the peel. Is this a kiwi? Come on.
I actually had a conversation with my family about, because I've got a daughter that really likes kiwis, and I was like, hey, we were talking about kiwis on the podcast, and there were some people chiming in that they like to just bite into them like an apple, and she was thinking about it for a minute, and she was like, I'll try it, but I don't think I'll like it. So we're gonna buy kiwis this week, and we're gonna try eating the skin and see what happens. We're gonna probably die.
So I have 2 questions. One, are you prepared for death? Like, is this worth it
first?
What a dad. But secondly, wait, what was my second point? Eating the kiwi like an apple. Oh, isn't the plural of kiwi?
You got me, I think.
Yeah, I think it.
Yeah, probably.
I'm a words guy. I think it's kiwi. 1 kiwi, 2 kiwi.
English major over there?
No. History, though. Bananas on toast are AAA, says Nelson. Not going to lie, Nelson, a little peanut butter in there as well.
The old Elvis Presley.
Kiwis. I think you're both wrong. Anyway, Sam said the last time he had a banana was around age 4. I mean, there are plenty of foods that you have at 4 that you don't like that you will like now.
Like mushy peas.
Yeah. That's the opposite, I think. These English guys like them even more now.
Yeah, well, okay. They love them over there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it mushy pea? That's the term, mushy?
I think so.
Yeah, I think
like,
so.
but babies eat them too. It's like baby food.
Right. It's like
over here, it's baby food, and in the UK, it's like a delicacy.
There's so many people watching this and listening. They were like, "Oh, so the Americans are going to teach us about cuisine here." Is that yeah? That's what. Yeah. So Nelson said ate a kiwi last week. His family was pissed. Maybe that's somebody else. I read this. I completely read this as his family passed, like from eating the kiwi, and I'm like, "Oh my god, no way." Anyway, where are we here? Kev Hurd said, "Sorry to mention the topic, lads, as we're 6 minutes in and have only talked about fruit." But he said, "Clean sheets are sexy as fuck." That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Well, they are when you get one.
The clean sheets, yeah. Sorry, I started reading bananas, and then I was like, "Sexy bananas." Nanzo, clean sheets aren't sexy. What end do you take of your banana? Have I tuned into the right show? Most definitely. See, still looking for the shite of this show. Just saying. Mm-hmm. Just saying. So, full disclosure on the topic of this show, I had absolutely no interest in talking about it. Andy sent me this topic last week, and I was like, "Eh." And then I sent him a topic I wanted to talk about, which we might talk about next week. And yesterday I was like, "Hey, so do you want to talk about my really great topic?" And he's like, "No, I want to talk about clean sheets." And I was like, "Okay." So Andy, the floor is yours.
Yeah. Well, my question to you is, why do you hate goalkeepers so much? What is your problem with goalkeepers? You clearly hate them.
I like them more than kiwi. No. So to be honest, you've gotten me thinking about this in a way that I hadn't really thought of it. And I probably should have thought of it by now, but I haven't. But it feels like if you have a goalie who doesn't get a clean sheet, I don't want to say your lineup's dead, but you're probably not winning like a fantastic reward. And the reason for that is because they're probably scoring in like the 40 to 50 range.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky, sure. Yeah. As long as they don't get blasted. Like, let's call it 37 to...
It's not even about getting blasted. If they just have nothing to do and they concede a goal, I think was it Langerak or it might have been Mike Magnan. There was a goalkeeper I owned last week. They didn't make a single save and they conceded a goal. And it's like, okay, that's a 34.
Yeah. So that's definitely on the lower end. I think of like if we looked at the stats of all goalies that just concede one, I think just more. Concede one. Yeah.
But I mean, in the same range, I mean, you have goalkeepers that concede 6. So like,
yeah, like Josh says it here. Oblak is basically 30 or 65, although I believe he got 69 the other day.
Yeah.
But the way that I was thinking of it is I get more upset about goalies who don't get clean sheets than I do forwards that don't score a goal. But it's really the same thing. And AA wise, if you have a goalie that makes a lot of saves, they can get to the 50-ish range, 55 even, and you have forwards that if they don't score a goal can get in the 55 range. But there's an inherent rage that I feel when my goalies concede that I don't feel when my outfield players don't get a decisive. And it probably shouldn't be that way. Like the number of clean sheets that a goalie gets in a season is probably comparable to like the number of goals that your forward is going to score.
It depends on...
Sure.
And I think the big difference there is if you want a forward that scores a goal basically every day, you can go spend the money and get that. But you really can't pay up and get a goal. I mean, I think Ter Stegen, I was kind of looking at stats, and I think he had the highest clean sheet rate in a long time last season. He had like 68% of his league games were clean sheets.
Yeah.
and which is absurdly high. And when you compare that to all the other leagues, all the other big 5 leagues or whatever, like
Yeah.
you don't see a rate that high.
No.
And like, how often does Mbappe get a decisive in a game? It's like over 1 per game, right?
So the other thing that gets me is that so rarely do goalies get multiple decisives. Like you see it sometimes, they get the clean sheet and a penalty save, but
Or an
generally
assist, like Columbus is a goalkeeper this past weekend.
yeah, that does happen every so often too. But like if you're, it doesn't really have to be a forward. I don't know why I keep saying forward, but I feel like they're the most, those two positions have the biggest range of outcomes. That if you have like a goal dependent forward, they need to score. And if you have a goalie that doesn't make a lot of saves, like they have to get a clean sheet.
Right.
And if you get like a 5th minute goal from your forward, you're like, he could have 5 goals today for all I know.
Right.
And the goalie really won't ever do that. Well, they'll certainly never have 3 decisive.
Well, if they save a PK in the 5th minute, you feel like you're free rolling the rest of the game, right?
I guess.
Like you want them to eat shots.
That's fair.
I guess.
But
I don't know. Or you just are like, you know what? I'm comfortable. I'm happy with my 60 to 70 here. Just don't concede 3. So
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Service said, do you feel this rage on any concession or just the saves they should have made? So I'll answer this in 2 parts. One is I almost never know if it's a save they should have made, because that would require me to actually watch football, and I don't do that. But the second is, I said that just to piss you off. The second is only the first concession matters to me. Like giving up 1 goal is the same to me as giving up 10 goals, because I just know I'm not winning. And I like, again, I might win some reward with 1 goal allowed, but we don't dream about tier 4 cards. We dream about first place. And as soon as that goal is allowed, first place is gone.
I mean, for me, it realistically is, because I stack in almost all my lineups. So if they concede, that's like potentially 50 points right there that I can't get. So, and sometimes more. So for me, it's like, depending on the lineup, if they concede, that lineup's dead.
Right. Exactly. Like you feel like it's dead. You just hide lineup and you're just like, I'm dead.
I still don't hide lineups because I still like to scan that page and see how everyone did. It's an easy, like, quick way to like look at everything. But I could see how somebody could rage, hide lineup after a goal's given up.
I now don't hide lineups because my son has the Sorare Data app on his own phone and he checks lineups. And one day he was like, what happened to all the lineups? And I'm like, oh, they're dead. I just hid them. And he's like, yeah, but what if? And I'm like, all right, I'll keep them out. Skosmo also nails this. The level of stress counting down the minutes for a decisive is horrible. And hoping for a multiple decisive penalty and clean sheet is just multiplying the risk and stress. We don't watch football for this. Boy, I hope there's a penalty so my goalie can save it.
I watch a lot of games sweating clean sheets. I don't know if I'm like, if there's something wrong with me or what, but I watch way too many Marseille games hoping for a Pau Lopez.
Yeah, I was gonna say, somebody commented, Rico here.
Yeah.
Still happy about Pau Lopez finally gets a clean sheet and scores nearly 100.
I honestly thought he was maybe going to get benched because he had an air-led to goal. He's conceded in like every game. I had this weird feeling he might get benched, and then he bangs out a 100. So love to see it. But yeah, I end up like AC Milan, watch a ton of their games because I've got Mike Mignon and I'm sweating in clean sheets. All my MLS guys, Philly Union, watching them a lot, sweating the clean sheets. I love pain, I guess. I don't know.
That's exactly what it sounds like. I will say that, so everybody's also in chat's also commenting about like who commits the penalty. Like if you want a penalty and the goalie doesn't commit, like, oh man, it's my defender that actually committed it, or conceded, excuse me. But like it's easier for an actually, I'm going to contradict myself immediately after I say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. An outfield player has an easier chance of overcoming that, like getting a decisive to cancel out that penalty conceded than a goalie. But I say that, and it's literally the goalie has the first opportunity to cancel out the decisive or the negative decisive by saving the penalty.
Yeah. To rewind this conversation a little bit, where this all started from and why I even wanted to bring it up was, does the clean sheet have too big of an impact on the overall results of your game week? Is really the question that I wanted to discuss, because you're talking about one event, a clean sheet, a shutout in one of your players' games sort of dictates, I guess, the outcome of your 5-man lineup. And it almost seems like it's too important for that one player to get the one thing where they may only have like one opportunity the entire game to like have an impact on that, or they may not. They may make 0 saves and get a clean sheet, literally sitting there organizing their defense, doing next to nothing. But I don't know. That's kind of where I wanted the conversation to start from and go.
Yeah, I am trying to look here. I was looking. Let's see. Did Dortmund have a clean sheet last week?
No. The week before Dortmund did.
Right. So, oh wait, I can just pull this up. So I was looking at All-Star Limited was just the first one that popped up. So the All-Star Limited leaderboard from last week had, so these goalie scores are absurd, but here's Pau Lopez. But fourth place had Gregor Kobel, and they conceded. And so obviously the rest of the lineup banged. But I guess you're not dead if they concede. 66 still is pretty good for a goalie that conceded, though. Let me see here. Yeah, 6 saves, 4 in the box. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I guess you're not dead. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm being very dramatic, and that if your goalie concedes, you just need to get 3 100 and you're fine.
Yeah, just stand on your head and make 6 saves in the box.
Right.
Yeah, I think that we're talking like that part is probably that's even like a 5% type of deal when a goalkeeper scores that high. Like it's a low percentage of time that a goalkeeper is going to score that high without
right. Yeah. I also just noticed that literally all of the podium places were over 500 points.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is nuts.
It was a very high scoring game week.
They should change all of the rules just because of that one game week.
Agreed.
Yeah. So where Josh said Steve Clark got a clean sheet and an assist a couple weeks back and barely got above 70. Seems a bit underpowered. Do you think a goalkeeper assist should be an automatic 100?
No. Not at all.
That's no fun.
Yeah,
he had 70 points in a 5-0 win.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just seeing if he had to make a save.
Steve Clark?
Yeah. Like literally, his goalkeeping thing is just empty.
Wow. Zeros.
0.
Not even a good high claim.
Nothing.
So go back. Can you click back into him? What were his possession stats? Okay.
Yeah, so he probably had like 6 goal kicks.
Yeah.
Which all missed the target. And that was it. That was his day. Didn't get a big or attempted assist because he got the actual assist. Yeah, that's
God, Portland is awful.
They're so bad. Shout out Nepenthes. It's a hell of a collection he bought there. So we're just Houston at home or a different beast, I suppose. But also Portland is garbage. Do you think a goalkeeper goal should be 100?
Ooh. I would say that should be like a double decisive. 2-in-1 special.
What do you think about game-winning goals being a decisive?
Maybe not a decisive, but I mean, make it worth 3 points or something.
3 points for a game-winning goal?
Yeah.
Thank God you're not.
It's worth 0 now. Do you like that?
Touche.
I mean, we don't have to make these like wide sweeping suggestions. Like, I think that there's lots of opportunities to like make those little like goalkeeper win. Goalkeeper win would be something. Couple points. Doesn't have to be big, but throw a couple points their way for a win.
So in that game we just looked at, you
Yeah.
think Steve Clark deserves more points because they won?
Sure, yeah.
Come on.
They got the W.
He didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Literally, he did nothing.
No, he was,
I guess he got the
he was
assist.
organizing his defenders so that he didn't have to take any shots. It was great communication from Steve Clark. Like the master communicator back there. Shouting instructions, letting everybody know, you know, whether they were under pressure or not. Steve Clark, great man.
Were you a goalie back in the day?
I was, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like something a goalie would say. That is exact. I knew it. Blue Tomatoes, good question. Who gets the game-winning goal if the score is 3-1? I think it should be time-based. You have to win by 1, and it has to be after the 85th minute. That's all. But I also go back to what Nanzo said before because it's something I agree with, and therefore I'm going to highlight it. Where'd it go? But here it is. Big chance save should be extra points. Totally agree. Sorare currently is blaming Opta for this.
So it'd be any time that they gave a BCM and the goalkeeper made the save, you'd give a big chance save. I like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So could you get a diving save, save in box, regular save, and a big chance saved all in one opportunity?
Hell yeah.
What if it's a double save? Like they take a shot, you make your big diving save, big chance saved, and then another guy runs up and smashes another, and you're
Give it all to me. Absolutely. Yeah.
Be like 100 points on one play.
Is it not worth it? Like the impact of what you just described is probably the most impactful a goalkeeper can be in an entire game. Yeah. Saving 2 big chances, diving all over the place. Yeah. Like those are goalkeeper highlights that make it to Twitter as opposed to Steve Clark's organizational skills.
Communication skills.
Sorry.
Both. Yeah.
Yeah. Jordan wants another 3 points for shouting.
I'm in.
Yeah. There you go. Mike Basson, 3 points organizational. Tim Howard would have been a beast. How about this? Kevin Hurd saying a big chance save should be a decisive. Yeah, I agree. I'm a hard no on that one.
They'd have I don't know. Some goalkeepers, you'd have some goalkeepers on bad teams that would be just the only guy you would buy because they'd be just giving up big chances all the time.
What is your thought on instead of making clean sheets a decisive, you get like points for clean minutes, basically? So like if you concede in the first minute, you're actually dead. But if you concede in the 90th, it's different.
No, that's horrible because it's the same. It's the same. It doesn't matter. Like your team still gave up a goal. Whether you gave up a goal early or late, it doesn't matter. You conceded a goal.
I think that's a reasonable take.
Yeah.
Brody says, is every save not a big chance save? If he doesn't save it, it's a big chance. No, not every save is a big chance. And not every big chance, not every shot is a big chance. Yeah. Here we go. Scosmo's got it here. Start with 60 points at 0-0. You concede at the 48th minute, then you go down to 35. If the goalkeeper concedes at 85 minutes, then they hold the 60-point decisive. If they see the game out, then double decisive to 70. That I actually think that's a horrific idea. I'm sorry, Scosmo.
Yeah, respectfully, got to disagree with that one.
Scosmo has a lot of really good ideas. That's not one.
I think Reese Davies has the best way of putting it out of anybody. Whatever my players do should be worth points, and if they're not my players, no points should be should be as simple as that. Yeah. I'm in.
Yeah, I like that. I like that rule. Mike Basson said the keeper should get half a point for every time they go to shout at outfielders instead of looking to take the goal kick. Maybe.
Yeah.
And Sam's accusing me of trying to sneak spread betting into the Sorare matrix by goalkeeper clean sheet minutes. I didn't even know that was a thing, but I'll talk to you later, Sam. Scott says saving a shot off target should be -5. Saving a shot off target. Why?
I guess he's saying loss of possession, like if you're knocking it out of bounds or something like that. I don't know. Or he just wants like really random, guillotine type stuff in the matrix.
Spartan Dog says, what about clean sheets broken up per half? First half clean sheet versus second half clean sheet. I think that's a pretty bad idea too. This is turning into next week's show, and I haven't even said anything yet. Johanneton, I think this is actually the idea that lots of people have had to get rid of the negative decisive for 3 goals allowed, and then it's just -5 for each goal conceded. I will say, and this, I don't agree with this for a different reason, but a goalie losing 5 points for a goal conceded doesn't seem like enough when the defenders are losing 4. Does that make sense? Even though it's probably the defender's fault.
Yeah.
And the good place with the best comment of the day. The only way we can make clean sheets sexy is with an Enzo Perez goalie position card.
Yeah. So we've derailed a little bit into fixing the goalkeeper scoring matrix.
You're right.
And I think that it definitely does or could be like made better. But I think I asked you this yesterday or the day before or whenever we talked about this. What would your thoughts be on, or what would the game look like if all goalkeepers just got 60 points and you played with 4 outfield players? Now, I say this is like a complete hypothetical because, my conversation earlier, my idea earlier was that clean sheets were like too important to the overall results. What would the results page look like, though, if it was just 4 outfield players? Or, I mean, you could even say 5 outfield players. Like, without the variance of goalkeeper, would just everybody be smashed together? Like, would all the scores be so similar?
I don't think so. Like, I think outfield players are just as much effectively like differentials than goalies. In fact, you can make the argument that goalies are more condensed because there are not as many of them. Like, there are only so many goalies that we play, that all of us play in a game week. And I don't mean like individually, but like the number of like, if you think of an MLS weekend, there are, I don't even know how many teams are in the MLS at this point. Is it 30, 29? So 28.
There's a lot.
20, let's say 28 MLS goalies play every game week, but there are 4, 5 defenders or midfielders per team that play. So like the number of outfield players is greater. So I actually don't think removing goalies is that like creates that much of a difference. Obviously it'll be different, but it's like not as different as like no midfielders.
I don't even mean really removing goalkeepers, but effectively if you remove the variance of like the clean sheet and you make it like, because I've heard so many different ideas. It's like, well, give them more points for saves, but still give them points for the clean sheet. And I think a lot of those end up just like washing out the position a little bit to where everybody, because goalkeepers on bad teams, they make a lot of saves. They don't get clean sheets. They're going to score blah. And I think the goalkeepers with the clean sheets aren't making a lot of saves, and they're just going to score kind of in that same range. And if you remove that variance is kind of where I was wanting to take the discussion. I think you kind of hit it. Like there's probably enough variance in just like all the other positions because there's so many other, so many other choices and players that you can pick.
I feel like a lot of the suggestions about fixing goalies is basically to like get rid of them.
Which is or make it less important.
Right. Yeah. I do think that Germ, and I feel like Germ has said this a lot, And I completely agree with it that goalies can't get like a double-double or a triple-double. And I think it's bad enough that we don't even get the underlying double-double and triple-double stats for forwards, but you can still get a double-double. Like you can't, there's no points for tackles won, but if they get 2 and 2 interceptions, then you get a double-double. But
you'd have to be really careful, I think, about what stats you made involved in the double-double or triple-double for goalkeepers. Like, I don't think I would just do like saves and saves in the box. I would do like high claims, sweepers, smothers, even though you don't see a ton of those. Maybe
I think
clearances or something other. I don't know.
So the non-save ones are good high claim, punches, smothers, and sweepers.
I think you could do that.
Yeah.
And
cross not claimed is a negative one, so I'm not including.
Yeah.
But those 4, they're non-save related. And yeah, I think, yeah. Carl.
Is it him or is it?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Somebody.
It was Carl 2 years ago.
Yeah.
How about keepers start with whatever their jersey number is? All of a sudden, it was 90. What number was Fred wear?
99.
That wasn't even your comment, too. How about that?
Get him
I like this from Scott. Why are punches even rewarded? They lose possession 90% of the time. Good point. Actually, never tracked that because why would anyone ever track goalkeeper stats? I think they're fine. I just think it's just weird that for every other position, a decisive comes from something happening. And for the goalie, it's literally something not happening. And I'm not saying that's bad. Like that, the point of the goalie is to stop goals, but it is just very strange that you're like watching a game and you're like, man, I really hope this most exciting thing in this sport doesn't happen.
Surface said, I don't care if a change is made and there's less variance, fine. It's just not fun watching a goalkeeper trying to keep a clean sheet. Change the matrix to emphasize fun actions. I mean,
Magpie. Make goalkeepers funny.
What do you want? Like he puts a party hat on and now you get 5 points, or like I don't understand that at all. Like what else can they do?
What can they do? Yeah.
Like when now Huel started pulling the string out of his nose, would that have been better if he got like
magic trick decisive?
Yeah.
That's why I bought him. Yeah, I don't think there's I did, yeah. I don't think there's a reason. I have a little one. I had this big plan about how I was going to play them this midweek, and then I just completely threw the plan out the window. It was very dumb.
They play tonight, don't they?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll know when you tell me.
You'll wake up tomorrow and find out.
I'm going to wake up tomorrow from a message from Surface that just had an Angulo look. Nanza with the very appropriate and reasoned take that goalkeepers pride themselves on clean sheets. Making them decisive makes sense. Like, I know it makes sense. It's just boring. But I think you need to... The difficulty is I think they have to have a decisive. Like, the goalkeeper has to have a reasonable way to get a decisive. And, like, goals and assists.
PK
clearances
saves.
Off the line. What's that?
PK saves. Did you just say clearances off the line? Isn't effectively all goalkeeper saves or clearances off the line?
I was trying to name all the ones that the outfielders can get.
Gotcha.
And the goalies. I mean, the sporadic like goalie last man tackles drive me insane.
Yeah. So let's talk about that for a second, because those have come up quite a bit. And they are the biggest bailout stat on the platform, because I feel like they only happen when a goalkeeper's already conceded. And then it's like, oh, in the 94th minute, Mike Mignon came off his line and tackled someone. And I don't know. Not made a play. Give him a keeper sweeper.
So my thought of it is that if the goalkeeper is in a position to get a last man tackle, which I think means that there's a defender behind them, like it's not actually last man, because the goalie's always the last man.
Right.
it probably means they're way out of position and like the tackle bailed them out. So you're like rewarding.
Sometimes, or they're sweeping.
That's fair. Johanneton said goalkeeper last man tackles only happen in Belgium and Spain. That is the conspiracy I am ready to double down on.
Well, Mike Mignon got one at the end of last
That's
season,
true.
I think so.
That's true.
And then I've seen him
Were they playing like at Real Madrid
as well.
How about Mike Basson? If time elapsed for clean sheet is irrelevant, then why only apply it 60 minutes? Why not start their scores with the clean sheet and then remove it when they lose it?
Sure.
I do think so. The 60-minute thing is totally arbitrary. Like it's become standard in most fantasy games. And I believe Sorare used to be full game, right?
Yeah. What I think what that does, Mike, is it prevents them from subbing off in the 14th minute with a concussion and getting the clean sheet. But yeah, it used to be on like Sorare before they changed the matrix. Like you had to, if you subbed off in the 95th minute, clean sheet gone.
Yeah.
So like that was the biggest sweat is like if you had a center back and they had a clean sheet and you were like watching the game, it'd be like, please don't. You see them lining up at the midfield mark and you're like, please don't come off the field.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly it. Server said the 60-minute thing was introduced mostly for defenders, which I get.
Yeah,
I get. I benefited, well, not enough, but I benefited from that last weekend when Mazraoui got subbed off and then they conceded and he still gets it.
Bayern always find a way, man.
It's crazy.
Always find a way to concede.
Good Place said the random Argentina last man tackles have helped me on more occasions than the Argentine league goals, which is that's a great line.
I want Gator Guy to share the non-Armani PK save. I don't know if he's ever shared that on stream.
Now that it's been like over a year, you guys are okay sharing it now.
I think so. Gator Guy won or podiumed, I think, in All-Star. But I was watching the game on a stream, and Armani, somebody conceded the PK. They scored the PK, and I even took a screenshot of the ball going into the net, and they gave Armani the PK save, like Opta messed up or something, and they never fixed it. They never fixed it, like, at the end of the game week, and they never fixed it, like, in the future. Like, it was in his stats that he got a PK save, and he most definitely there's Keith.
I'll share it tomorrow.
Find the pick we've used. He most certainly did not save that PK.
Was it the only goal he conceded? I guess the goal conceded doesn't actually matter because it could, like, he could have saved it and then like the rebound and then he would still get the save for it. Yeah. Keith told everyone not to say anything until they rewarded the cards. Your rewards are in a bit of lies, Keith.
That's one of those funny ones where like everybody's reaching out to Zara to be like, hey, my goalkeeper actually did save a PK. This is one where like everyone's like, do not tell him. Keep your mouth shut. Yeah.
Keith's right. Armani even dove the wrong way. Like there was nothing saved about that shot.
And I agree. We should have his name changed for the next at least few weeks to Fraud Guy 231.
I don't want to start spreading rumors.
Built on a bed of lies.
Just a bed of fraud. I'm trying to see here if Keith won. Maybe it was Underdog Rare. He finished second in Underdog Rare in game week 286. We're going to expose the fraud right now, guys.
I love it.
I wish somebody had the picture because...
well, if I dig deep enough, I might be able to find it and send it to you.
It wasn't this one. Let's see. Lars Unnerstall, nice reward with that one. I don't see any other podiums with this Armani. Maybe it was a different Armani. It's the Iñaki Williams reward. All right.
Maybe that was it, and they like retroactively a long time ago pulled away the clean sheet. Like,
I see what you're saying.
Do you guys show the score after it's been updated, or do you show the score like at the end of the game week?
It's probably updated. Oh wait, Iñaki Williams. Now I just have to like randomly search. Keith, you win too many rewards now that I have to look for Iñaki Williams. I think he also just has Williams on his. This is riveting content here. Here he is. All-Star Rare, 24th.
In fact, there's a lot of talk about fraud in Sorare right now. So I think it's really important that we, address it head on this podcast. We expose the fraud.
This is it right here. That's a lot of decisives to only score 403 points.
So I guess he didn't podium, and I guess he was the one that conceded the PK, and this maybe kept him in the rewards or something.
Well,
we always exaggerate stories when we remember them,
Well, he would have been lower because it would have been. Oh no, I guess not. I don't know. Did he send us the picture now? Sorry, guys. I know this is whatever. What were you saying? Oh, fraud. How would you feel if you had a card posted and it sold to one of these fraud people, and then your sale was like reverted?
Give me my card back at least.
Yeah, you got the card back, and the floor is now half.
I just don't think it will happen because I'll just cash off my ETH before I have to give it back.
Yeah.
Here's
Armani's penalty save here for those watching, and for those listening, just look up.
Yeah, I think he's just leaning the wrong way. It looks like.
Mm-hmm. I will say that as of this picture right here, the ball has not crossed the line. So for all we know, Armani bounced off his right arm, popped back up, and saved it with his left.
Yeah, that's not conclusive. What do they call it? Conclusive evidence?
Yeah.
VAR would call that a PK save, I think.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we got to go with our initial decision on this one.
Absolutely. Germ said, Laird, how do you feel if your João Felix was bought for 101 ETH and was returned due to fraud? It's a great question.
Are they gonna like pay off your boat for you, your yacht that you bought with the
right? Yeah, I think I would just burn the entire place down. Yeah.
Has he moved yet? Is he going to? Benfica is like the rumor, right?
The latest was Benfica. I saw a hilarious tweet yesterday that he's like open to a return to Chelsea, which is hilarious because there's a Saudi rumor. I was saying to somebody the other day that João Felix going to Saudi and a team that doesn't play Asian Champions League may actually be better than Atletico Madrid. Jonathan's right. He's just playing Sorare right now.
Yeah. Doing some weird stuff on Sorare too.
Not fraudulent though.
No. Buying $4 limiteds.
Second division limited cards.
But then you gotta
walk before you run.
Yeah, well, no, he also was bidding on something big the other day, and somebody, was it Sam Surface, said that he sold him like kind of an expensive card. It's like, oh,
that's fun.
I don't remember.
That's fun. Andy, there's a Sorare Data tweet out. About it was out much earlier today. If there are any cards in your gallery that you have marked as not for sale, or maybe you have cards in your gallery that are never for sale, but you just haven't marked them. Are there any that you have that you just you're like, no, I'm not selling this.
I didn't know that was a feature. So that's in Sorare Data.
My God.
Well,
yes.
Hey, teach me, show me how this
I'm going to do it right now.
Yeah. Show me.
There was actually
and then I'll tell you
about it, but man, I'll just do it right here. Just do it live.
Yeah.
If you go to your gallery and you find a card that let's see. I wonder if I have it on my João Felix. Oh, I don't. I'll zoom in here. You guys can see that João Felix is available still for the bargain basement price of 100 ETH. But anyway, if you click this tag right here, you can just write or take the open for offers off, and then it will say not for sale when people go to your gallery to try to steal your cards.
Now, how often do you think people go to Sorare data to like look at this?
I don't know, but hold on, let me get back to I don't want people to be confused. All right, should I raise it to 101? Is that what's holding me back? It's priced at 100, but I should actually do 101
or 99.99. That's like,
yeah,
one of those psychological, I don't know.
So the problem is, you know what? I probably should raise it because of the new transaction fees. Like I want to take home 100 ETH.
Right.
I'm going to be really pissed if I sell that card and they're like, oh, it's actually 95 ETH. Like that seems like too much money to give away.
Well, they get 10%. Is it 10% or 5%? 5%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think mine would be Sven Kum's 69 mint. I don't think I would ever sell that card.
Okay.
Hans Van
How about you would sell it for 69 ETH?
I would, yes.
Yeah.
I would do that. Hans Van Aken jersey mint from the 2020 season. Jersey number 20.
Oh, that's your most rewards one card. Look at you.
Yeah, wouldn't sell that card.
I wouldn't either.
Because I don't think anybody would ever value those cards as much as I value them. So
it's crazy that there was a time where you were like, yeah, I'll spend $23.49 on a Hans Van Aken jersey mint.
Funny. I've told the story before, but Jimmer was like, yeah, if you're gonna play this game, you're gonna need to buy one of the better guys, and they're kind of expensive. And one of the guys is this guy right here. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go get him then. And did I buy him off the market, or did I buy him? Like, did I buy him off an auction, or did I buy him from somebody?
Oh, you bought it from Pap.
Yeah. So
how about this? That it was 0.125 ETH, and it was $23.49.
At the time, the 0.125 ETH, I was like, because I had only been buying cards for probably under 0.1. That was like the first time I spent over 0.1 on a card. So it was like, this is kind of a big deal. All right.
It's a big deal.
I'm going to take a bigger step into the platform, I guess. And, and here we are.
Wow.
Hans.
I'm trying to see here. Yeah, you did have a bunch of cards already.
Just a bunch of junk.
Yeah.
Although I did buy that Aster Vranch. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Let's say Vranks.
That one. Yep. And I just have held him forever. And that's kind of a cool card now because I think he's at AC Milan now, or
I thought he went to
PSV.
Yeah, PSV. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think he's waiting on a Sangare sale, or he's hoping for one.
I'm noticing here you also bought an Oshiman for $75.
Yeah. I bought the OG Lille stack back in the day. It was Mignon, Oshiman, Ikone, Bamba.
Sorare, apparently. Sorry, I have it literally right.
Oh, yeah. Bombo would have been in there, and then I also bought Gabriel back then too.
There's your boy Franks.
Yeah. Oh, Vincent Company. Look at that. That's a cool card.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Charlie's saying PSV deal fell through. He's off to Fiorentina. That sucks.
I guess it does. I don't know.
Hey, Leon Bailey. You there?
Oh God.
Ooh, that's a fun card.
Could be. Yeah. Need that deal to get done. I've been like constantly looking at Twitter, like searching Chucky.
It's over. Like he's gone, right? Isn't he?
No, it's not completely done. I think he was leaving for a medical, like for today, I think. I
feel like you never see like quick buys of super rares. Here's the limited chart. This looks like it's done. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen like what these charts can do.
That's fair.
The old middle, it'll give you the old middle finger. So I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch on this one.
Is that the phrase? Counting my chickens before they
Yeah.
hatch?
Oh, yeah. Or is it counting your eggs?
the
The chicken, which came first?
chicken doesn't hatch.
No,
The egg hatches.
Yeah, that one. It, in the end, you know what I'm saying.
I knew what you were saying. Yeah. Yeah. I thought maybe we could move it into like a fruit reference.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Anyway,
You have anything else to say about goalkeepers?
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about today.
You hate them?
I mean, I'm sure they're nice people. Actually, I bet they're not. Most of them are probably a little nuts. I think you have to be a little bit like,
Yeah, they're
crazy.
all loose screws for sure. Eccentric.
Sure. Just to confirm, you were a goalie at some point. Yeah.
Yes.
You didn't play goalie though at Anfield.
I did not.
How come?
I mean, that was a different part of my life, Laird.
Oh, okay.
That was back when I was getting clean sheets against Tim Ream, back in the high school days. In fact, that's a lie. We didn't get a clean sheet that game. Tim Ream assisted a goal. I've got the box score and everything. Tim Ream's got an assist, and I conceded the goal in that game. But we won, so I beat Tim Ream. Sucker.
Do you think you should get points for the win?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
5 points.
Okay.
5 points for a win. Leadership ability was great in that game. I would give myself 3 points for like overall leadership and 3 points for communication.
What I really like about those is that they're not subjective at all. Like they're clear, like we know exactly what you did to get those points.
He clearly had his team, under his thumb. They knew where they were supposed to be.
Right.
They could hear him. Yeah.
I'm in. How come you don't play for? Where is he playing now? Fulham? Is he still there?
He is. Yeah.
Yeah.
He got another national team call up. He'll be playing in St. Louis here in a couple weeks.
That's fun. You going?
I don't know. I don't even know. I honestly don't know when the game even is.
The U.S. team's playing Germany, like near me. I was like, I might go to that game.
Is that a friendly?
I assume so. I can't imagine what international competition we're playing Germany in.
Yeah. Fair. You can see Kai Havertz and Tim Ream.
Man. Might have to sell my entire gallery to afford those tickets. I don't know. Everybody's going to want to see that.
Yeah. Quinny, I think I saw Bakayako was I probably butchered pronunciation there, but what was it? Spurs or Newcastle maybe? Was that rumor?
Yeah, because Chucky is going to PSV. Yeah. Where he'll smash because I own his card. Andy, I have his jersey mint.
Really?
Yeah.
Which season?
2022, maybe? No, 2021. Let's find out. 2020.
Ooh, Brentford too. Brentford would be fun, I think.
Here he is.
It's a cool card.
Funny thing about this card. Let's see when I bought this card. Look at that. Look at that. But anyway, if you notice, I bought this card because my good friend Gator Guy 231 was like, hey, Lozano's going to LAFC. And he like snap bought a rare just before me. And I was like, oh, wow, cool. And then so I bought this one and I was like, oh, sweet. I got a jersey mint. And he was like, he was like, I looked at that card and I was like, I'll get the cheaper one. Completely ignored it was a jersey mint.
Would you rather have Chucky at LAFC or PSV?
I really needed a America forward at the time. And I thought he would do really well there. And so obviously when that deal fell through, I was just like, oh, he's going to go rot at Napoli. And then PSV came up and I'm like, oh, that's good. More utility in the short term.
How would LAFC even have been able to do that though? Because isn't Vela Boanga, is Palacios a DP there? Or is it Cellini or like?
I thought it was Chiellini. It's MLS, Andy. They figure it out. You got a guy who
Miami got sanctioned for having Pellegrini that one year, right?
Yeah, but that was like back. So they got sanctioned because nobody cared. And they were like, hey, we have rules here. And now it's like, oh, you're a star? Oh, a Mexican star in LA? 4 DPs.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
Yeah.
Just give us some of those games and we'll reconfigure some of these deals.
Right. Yeah. It's the MLS. If MLS wants a guy in, they get him in. You deal with the rules later. Garber knows what he's doing. Rules are meant to be, bent.
Bent. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else on fruit?
Is tomato a fruit?
Yeah.
Like really though. Like real talk.
Yeah. Between us, nobody's listening. Is it really? What's that phrase that I forget what it was. Is it intelligence and street smart? Something about knowing. One is knowing that tomatoes a fruit, and the other is knowing that it doesn't go in fruit salad. Intelligence.
Yeah, that would definitely be street smarts versus book smarts.
Something like that. Yeah. Johannesson's like that. Yeah, you can't put it to bed, but I forget what it is. I don't know. Yeah, it's a fruit. Yeah. But only because they told me that. So at some point, we decided.
Well, there's a rule. It has to do with the seeds. What is it? The seeds are in the fruit.
But aren't peppers vegetables?
I think peppers are considered fruits.
Really?
I think so.
Are peppers? Oh my gosh! I just said are peppers. Oh, they are fruit. Botanical classification is fruit.
So
hey, fruit salad. It's got
is a fruit.
I guess so. Yeah.
Like a habanero
fruit salad. It's got tomatoes and peppers in it.
Oh, be a hell of a fruit salad.
Right. Jalapenos and tomatoes. Pico de gallo. Is that a fruit salad? Probably not because of the onions.
Pico has onions.
Yeah.
So is it I think, is this it?
The end caps of the show are wild.
Yeah. I think it's this though. I think if the seeds are inside the vegetable or fruit, then it's a fruit. But if the seeds come from a flower, because when you grow lettuce, for instance, you get the lettuce, but then you also get a stem that comes up and it has seedlings that come out of a flower.
Why are strawberries fruit then? Because they don't have seeds on the inside.
Yeah, well, the seeds are in the strawberry.
They're kind of they're outside. They're the only one that have seeds on the outside.
I mean, they're not really. They're embedded. They're like pimples. The seeds are the pimples of the strawberry.
When he said fruits produced above ground and vegetables below, which is not true.
No. Yeah. Incorrect.
Literally the lettuce example we just used.
Yeah. I like that the easiest way to solve this is just typing it into Google, but I think it's more fun to have the argument without simply solving it.
Yeah, sometimes knowledge is not the right.
One of my favorite things to do, we go on these fishing excursions to Canada with a big part of our family and some friends and stuff. And one of my favorite things to do is me and one of my buddies will look up an obscure fact. For instance, what is the difference between a lake and a pond? What makes, and we'll look up so that we know what it is. Yeah. And then when we're out in the wilderness on this fishing trip where you don't have access to internet and stuff, we'll just be like, hey, I wonder what is the difference between a lake and a pond? And then my dad will chime in with what he thinks. My uncle's got his opinion. And then there's this big argument over what it is. And then I'll just be like, you know what? I think it's when the light can penetrate the water all the way to the bottom of the surface. And we did the same thing with
that's a pond, by the way.
Yeah,
Right. The pond you can see. Yeah. Light penetrates. Yeah.
Rivers, it's like, why are all rivers like, do they have like, I don't know. You know how all rivers like go back and forth? Like they're
You've
not
never
just
seen a
straight
straight river?
lines.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that. I don't know. We looked it up and like had a big argument about it. And then like at the end of the trip, we looked it up and we're like, oh, I guess I was right.
Yeah.
The old men don't like it at all.
Yeah. So the chat is officially arguing with our local botanist, Quinny. Quinny said pineapples grow on trees above ground. Pineapples absolutely do not grow on trees, or if they do, they grow on trees that are the size of lettuce trees because it just literally grows out of the ground. Jonathan said if it doesn't have seeds, SCOs are blowing us away with cucumbers are berries, but raspberries are not.
What?
What are raspberries then? Raspberries. I just wrote raspberries are actually raspberries A, and it just popped up raspberries are not berries. Despite its name, a raspberry is not a true berry. That's because they grow from a flower with multiple ovaries. Remember,
Didn't think
a
we'd go there
true berry
today.
grows from one ovary.
Okay.
I'm not sure I'm going to read this comment. As soon as I put it on the screen, I regretted it. Sorry for those listening.
I'm curious though if Nanzo thought of that on the spot or if that's like a joke that he had heard before because it's outstanding.
He's been sitting on it for 61 minutes, just like I'm waiting for the right opportunity to drop this one. And he's like, "Oh wait, I'm going to wait till the fruit conversation at the end." And this is that's it. SGT wants to discuss legumes, which I'm out on. No thanks.
Yeah, the difference between
strawberries are actually nuts. Daniel Cooper said this is the Darwin Nunez of podcasts. It's pure chaos. It doesn't seem chaotic. We're like a river.
It's
We're
got really good flow.
This.
Yeah, really good flow. Miguel Berry. Not
Miguel Berry a fruit.
Not in fact a berry. Not in fact a berry.
Not a berry. Miguel Berry, not a berry. Ryan said, when you said you really didn't want to talk about the topic, I highly underestimated just how bad you didn't want to talk about the super rare.
This is exactly
rare goalkeeper or my super rare goalkeeper.
This is exactly how much Laird hates goalkeepers. This discussion right here.
In fairness, this discussion is more entertaining than a lot of conversations we have. A lot of discussions we have. Has nothing to do with goalies. But I would definitely go 63 minutes talking about fruits and vegetables and legumes and nuts instead of goalies.
What if the goalie is David Ochoa?
I never owned Ochoa, so I don't have like the sentimental, like he'll come back. He'll do it. Still has 8 years of U23 eligibility.
Well, he's a coach now.
No, I know. But, surely he's like coaching in order to be like, hey, see, I'm sane. Give me a job. Quinny. David Ochoa is definitely a nut.
Yeah.
Well played. Well played. Thank you to everybody for joining us. I feel like we're like this close to falling off the rails, and so I'm going to stop us right now. If you guys could please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out to Quinny, who is here. Tomorrow, limited time only. Everybody noticed that we switched a little bit. There's a little bit of a hurricane we had to avoid. But yeah, Keith and I will be back for limited time only tomorrow. Friday will be off topic. Next week, I'm going to start laying the foundation here. Office hours on Tuesday. Big announcement.
Oh, big announcement.
I whispered it. You weren't supposed to do that.
Wait a minute. You just announced an announcement. Oh my God. Fury in the community.
See you then. Later, guys.